This is going to be the toughest fight of his career.
Sharp, relax.
The most embarrassing fight of his career.
Chair across your face.
Yeah, I think he's about to cry.
I'm definitely up for fighting. There's a lot of names in the division, for sure. But at the same time, look at what this creates as well. I'm a fighter and I understand the economics of business as well. And this does good business.
Are you really going to do this? Absolutely. Are we going to do this? For a record payday? To go in and spark Jake Paul before we start the serious stuff in 2026? Don't tell me what we should and what we shouldn't be doing.
Anthony Joshua has fired off a chilling warning at Jake Paul, and this isn't hype talk. While Paul sees this as a massive payday, Joshua's team is openly stressing how dangerous this mismatch could be. Eddie Hearn straight up cautioned Paul about the risks, saying one clean shot from AJ could be devastating. And former pro Moses Itama echoed that, warning that stepping in front of Joshua's power comes with real injury danger.
Anthony Joshua should not get in the way of Fury and Joshua, really, in my view. It's an absolute joke. It shouldn't be sanctioned. I really don't believe it should be sanctioned. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be a very big fight. But the biggest thing is us rubbernecking to actually see if they do get to the point where they step in the ring together. Because Jake Paul's an area-level fighter, a British area-level fighter, and Anthony Joshua is still a killer and a live heavyweight. That should not be sanctioned anywhere in the world, in my view.
It's dangerous, man.
Very dangerous.
It brings the sport into disrepute. The people that are talking about organising that, they should have a real hard look at themselves.
But even Eddie Hearn's kind of teasing he doesn't like it, but you can see the glitz
No, man.
of dollars.
There's no price. There is no price.
There shouldn't be.
There's absolutely no price
Agree
on
with
the
you.
planet in order to make.
Jake Paul choosing to face Anthony Joshua isn't just bold. Many insiders say it's reckless. Analysts like Ariel Helwani argue that Joshua's sheer power and ring experience could leave Paul seriously hurt, with brutal knockout potential being a very real threat.
Has been beaten 3 times. The 4 fighters that he beat didn't come to win. So he's not in his prime, is he? He's literally at the end of his career, pretty much finished. And this is why taking this fight with you is telling you all you need to know. It's a cash out. You might as well just cream as much money as he can at the end of his career, fighting an absolute joke show. In clown world, when I beat Anthony Joshua, he says, every doubt disappears. Come on. I mean, if this is a straight up AJ versus Jake Paul, then we all know what should happen. This is a 1-round job because AJ, even though he's past his best, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance, and fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury, for crying out loud. You can't jump in with Anthony Joshua now and expect to get a result. So, like, nothing's gonna no doubt's gonna disappear. All that's gonna.
Moses even urged Paul to value his health over the attention and money, stressing that one wrong shot could leave lasting damage. And Amir Khan didn't sugarcoat it. He said Joshua could seriously harm Paul, even warning of possible brain trauma.
Joshua fucked him out in like 2 rounds. Really? No, why do you look surprised when I
don't. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying.
Come on, bro. You're fighting like one of the best heavyweight fighters in the world against a YouTuber. Like, come on. Like, respect the sport of boxing. And if AJ has to go in there and show these influencers that, listen, you can't fuck about with boxing. You know what I mean? Someone's gonna get hurt badly, and this could be one of the first fights where a fighter gets hurt badly, because if you look at the size difference and the power difference, I mean, bro, there could be brain damages going on there. I mean, AJ could hurt him badly, you know.
When you look at Francis Ngannou, who's one of the most fearsome combat stars there is. I know it's MMA, but we saw what AJ did to Ngannou. So,
and that's why you don't look. You can't be surprised if AJ's going to do the same to. What's it called again? What?
For Joshua, this fight isn't simply a check, it's a legacy move. Johnny Nelson says AJ faces a lose-lose situation. If he doesn't dominate Paul quickly, critics will say he's just another businessman, using YouTuber fights for money instead of proving he's still elite.
bit because AJ's involved, and I think AJ'd struggle to he's going to take enough flack over this, but again, it's money talk. So I think AJ will struggle because it's an Owen situation. If he goes in there, Jake Paul lasted the distance. What does he tell you about AJ? Apart from he's just earned an extra 15 million quid. If he goes there and struggles with Jake Paul, then what do you say about AJ? Your heydays are well and truly over. If he goes in there and knocks him out, then I'll say that's to be expected. So the glory, there's probably not much glory in it, apart from the haters of Jake Paul to say, right, I've got rid of this kid. I think it's very brave of Jake Paul. So now the problem child has got us to believe this fight's actually happening. So now you've got our attention. So now you've got to back up the boast. It's not about, you're not playing tiddlywink. This is the only game you can't play. You can play football, golf.
Nelson also gave a blunt assessment of Jake Paul's boxing career. He called Paul brilliant for building his brand, but stops short of calling him world class. Paul skipped the traditional climb through amateur ranks and gym wars. He built fame online first and monetized boxing on top of it. Nelson thinks Paul is talented, but when it comes to true elite level skill, he isn't convinced.
Boy, he's gonna be 35 years of age. It's crazy what I'm about to ask you, but can Jake Paul really beat Anthony Joshua?
All right, listen, I give all credit. Everyone knows that. They get mad at me that I gave too much credit to Paul. Why? He's done a hell of a job to put himself in this position. He sold himself. He sold his dream. He took his dream. He took his idea. And he put it out there, and he made it happen. Give him credit for that. And he made it happen. And he took risk along the way. Yeah, he picked his spots. He's in the driver's seat. He gets to pick his spots. He's the one bringing the money. He's the one promoting. Yeah, he's the name. He made himself that, coming from where he came from, with all his followers and the whole thing, and just the uniqueness of what he was doing. But he has learned along the way. He's not a top guy yet. No, I don't know that he ever will be. He didn't have that amateur background and the things that you usually need to be a top guy. But he has improved. He is a work in progress. He is a guy that you got to give him credit that he's respected the sport. He went out.
Former champion Carl Froch agrees, saying that fighting Paul could harm AJ's image and pull him away from Hall of Fame greatness. Still, Joshua has been open about protecting his long-term health, stating that the real legacy for him is stepping away from the sport healthy.
Burner's lit, like I've said. He's cashing out. And fair play to him, he's cashing out. But to what detriment to his legacy? A lot, really. Because if this is going to be his last fight, fighting this clown show, I mean, it's not ideal, is it? It's no ideal way to go out. But people would argue, well, he's just taking the money and running. So you can't really argue with that. So that's it for another episode of Froch on Fire. Now to get my opinion out there, because I know you've all been waiting for it. It's a shame, really. I'd like to see Anthony Joshua, actually, even though I don't believe he can do it. But when Eddie Hearn tells us that AJ is going to become a 3-time world champ, it'd be nice to see the rebuilding process and get back behind him. 1 or 2 easy fights and then go for a world title. And this could be one of the 2 easy fights. But I just think if you're going to jump in with fake Paul at this level, which is like I say, arguably a massive mismatch, it's no way to step towards or climb a ladder to get towards that world title. So this, for me, tells me that Anthony Joshua knows he's finished at any sort of elite level or world level. He won't be trying to go down the world title level anymore. This is just a cash out. So good luck to him. Fair play to him, but hopefully when he's finished this fight, he'll be honest with us and say, listen, I've milked it, I've creamed it, I've had an unbelievable touch at the end of my career. I mean, he's already had an outrageous touch, hasn't he, with the involvement of Saudi Arabia, and now he's just creaming it at the end. He's got fake Paul, which is massive. Great for AJ, fair play to him. Anybody would do the same at the end of the career he's had. You know, he's He's not an elite heavyweight, is he? He's never going to come.
But Jake Paul insists he can beat Joshua, claiming AJ's recent performances reveal weakness. On his podcast, Paul said Joshua has no chin, stiff movement, and declining resilience, pointing to the Dubois knockout as evidence. Paul argues that his awkward style and rising confidence give him a real chance in what most see as a dangerous challenge.
Why is Jake Paul doing this? Well, I think it's because he genuinely believes there is a chance he can win this. I think he's calculated everything about Anthony Joshua's circumstances and he's gone, yeah, I actually think I can do this. I can leapfrog so many years of having to build and go through the ranks and do all that stuff by beating a shot-worn Anthony Joshua. And what are the factors in Jake Paul believing this? Well, it would be firstly that AJ received a loss in his most recent fight. Anthony Joshua's not been in the ring since September 2024, so over a year by the time him and Jake Paul get in the ring together. It will have been around 15 months. It was the manner of Joshua's loss where he looked terrible. He looked like a fighter that was well past his best. His timing wasn't there. He even looked a little bit chinny, dare I say. I mean, I still think he's got a good chin. The shot he took from Dubois was absolutely massive and would have knocked down many heavyweights. And he showed decent powers of recovery to get up and struggle through for as long as he did before his over-aggression and miscalculation with the type of shots he was using got him knocked out by Dubois. But if you're deluded enough like Jake Paul, then perhaps you look at that and go, he landed a massive right hand on Joshua's chin. Why can't I do the same? I believe myself to be a very big puncher. And it's that old saying, isn't it? You know, you shoot for the stars, you might at least land on the moon. And I think that's kind of why Jake Paul's maybe got to where he is in life, because he does have too much self-confidence. He does believe in himself.
Jake Paul says this fight is his moment to silence every critic who accused him of avoiding real fighters. By facing a true heavyweight and former champion, he claims he'll finally prove he belongs on the world stage. In Paul's words, when he beats Joshua, every doubt disappears and nobody can deny him again.
Fight a real boxer. They said fight someone your size. They said fight a world champion. We looked at a long list of supposed...
Having said all of that, this might be a step too far. Now, when I say it, I'm also... I try to be responsible. I've been in this game 50 years, so I know where not to step. Where you could twist an ankle, or worse. You could break a leg or fall down. When I say that with the understanding, too, that Joshua's coming off being knocked out. Joshua hasn't fought for a year, right? But it's about a year. And there's some ghost in his attic. There are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's gotten rid of some of them, but I know that in the position of a fighter coming where he's coming from, there are ghosts in your attic. I don't know if those ghosts are still taking up space. I don't know if maybe there could be no better exorcism for those ghosts than fighting a Jake Paul. That might be just the exorcism you need to clear out the attic. I don't know. That's the problem. We don't know. That's the mystery part of this. That's what makes it so... It makes it two things at once. Intriguing and in some ways...
That does it for this week's recaps and previews. I want to throw one more thing at you. And that's the news. It's been out there for about a month or so, and it's picking up more steam. Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua. Now, Eddie Hearn came out this week most recently and said, I never thought I would say this, but right now, the front runner for this fight is Jake Paul for Anthony Joshua's ring return. Joshua coming up almost on a year in September since his KO loss to Daniel Dubois. He's going to be 35 years of age. It's crazy what I'm about to ask you, but can Jake Paul really beat Anthony Joshua?
All right, listen, I give all credit. Everyone knows that. They get mad at me that I gave too much credit to Paul. Why? He's done a hell of a job to put himself in this position. He sold himself. He sold his dream. He took his dream. He took his idea. He put it out there, and he made it happen. Give him credit for that. And he made it happen. And he took risk along the way. Yeah, he picked his spots. And he's in the driver's seat. He gets to pick his spots. He's the one bringing the money. He's the one promoting. Yeah, he's the name. He made himself that, coming from where he came from, with all his followers and the whole thing, and just, you know, just the uniqueness of what he was doing. But he has learned along the way. He's not a top guy yet. No, I don't know that he ever will be. He didn't have that amateur background and the things that you usually need to be a top guy. But he has improved. He is a work in progress. He is a guy that you got